What's up guys, Excellent here, and in today's video we'll be covering the best gear talents. To sort this out correctly and so that we don't have to go through every single talent, and to make it more easy for you guys to understand, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be splitting this into three types. The best, ones that are good with certain types of build, and then the worst talent. If you enjoy the video guys, please do whack the like button as it's super appreciated, and remember to subscribe for future uploads. So let's go ahead and look at the tier 3 gear talents. So first up we have the talent Resourceful. This heals your things like mobile cover, turrets, things like that whenever healing is applied to yourself, but since we don't care about them, there's no point in this talent. Next up we have the talent Technical. This increases skill power by 13% whenever you use your ultimate skill. Now considering how little of a percentage this is and how long your cooldown for your signature skill is, there's no actual point in this talent. Now moving on to the build dependent talents, the first one we have is Relentless. So this one does 3% of your damage dealt by skills is returned to you as healing. So this is why this is in the build dependent tier, and basically if you're a high skill power build and you rely on sticky bombs and turrets, this can do really well for keeping you up in both PvE and PvP. Next on we'll move on to the ones that you definitely need, the tier 1 stuff. So the two talents that are the bread and butter for backpacks are Specialized and Inventive. These two basically add 13% to your skill power. Inventive does it while you're at full health, and Specialized does it all the time from 13% off your firearms and stamina. That's the only difference with them, but they're both equally as good as each other. Next up we'll move on to the chest slot pieces. So for the low tier ones, there is Reckless and Robust, and there is also the talent Forceful, which increases your body armor by a certain percentage while your signature skill is active. The other two that I've not gone into are pretty useless. One was bugged at first and was very OP, but has now been fixed, and therefore is basically useless. For body armor there is also no build dependent talents, so we'll be skipping straight through them. The best talents for body armor however are Rapid. The cooldowns of your healing skills are decreased by a certain percentage, and the other best one is Vigorous. What this does is it enables overheal on all your healing skills. Of course, an overheal is more health that the enemy has to put down before they actually get onto your normal health, enabling you to live longer. So onto the masks. The only low tier we have is Rehabilitated. What this does, it heals you for 2% of your max health for every second while you're affected by a status effect. This was however very overpowered when it was bugged, as it constantly did an unlimited heal. If you didn't see the video on my channel, you can still check that out. But now it's fixed, it is definitely useless compared to some of the other talents. So for masks, the only build dependent one or situational one that we have is Tenacious. Now the reason why I put this in is it's very useful for PvP. What it does is whenever you use a medkit, it increases your damage by 9.5% sorry, for a certain amount of seconds. This is extremely useful in PvP as you'll be using medkits to keep yourself alive. So for the top tier, the best stuff for masks, we have 3, and they are Enduring. While in your last health segment, your health is continuously regenerated to fill up the last segment, an absolute game changer. We have Refreshed. When your health is in the last segment, all your healing is improved by 30%. With certain builds you can get your health all the way up to full, quickly and easily. And we have Rejuvenated. which removes all negative status effects when you consume a medkit. These 3 are all game changers to any build. Next up we'll move on to the gloves. So for gloves we only have one low tier talent, and that is Reckless. You deal X% more damage, but you also take X% more damage as well. You want to try and avoid taking as much damage as possible, even if it does increase your damage. So the only build dependent, or as I'm calling it this time, player dependent talent that we have is actually Decisive. Now what this does is it increases the damage that your sidearm does with headshots. So for the top tier ones, I put these in my favourite order. We actually have 3 talents, and those are Cunning. So after reloading, your next shot with that weapon has a 9.5% higher critical hit chance. And we have Astute. The first 3 bullets of your magazine have a X% higher chance to do a critical hit chance. And the bread and butter of all gloves talents is Savage. What this does, it increases your critical hit chance by 13% to any targets that are out of cover. An absolute game changer. So over onto the knee pads, and we only really have one to call out on here that's worth anything, and that is Perceptive. Your item find and gold find bonuses are increased by a certain percentage. This is the only real one that is worth rolling. Now onto the holsters. There again is only one that is worth mentioning, and that is Steadfast. While in cover, your health regeneration kicks in twice as fast. All too often do we have to drop back into cover in both PvE and PvP moments to wait for our regeneration to kick in. Why not have it kick in twice as fast? Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Let's see if we can hit 50 likes for this episode, and remember to subscribe for future uploads.